Okay, I just want to start off by saying this. If you hear a smoke alarm in the background, that is not me. That's my neighbors. Like, they smoke alarm been going off for a couple times. I just don't want y'all to think I'm over here not changing my battery and my priorities is backwards. We just gonna get that out the way. But we're here. We got some Venus retrograde shit to take care of. Y'all need to get right. I saw what happened. I've been seeing the TL. I've been seeing how people been feeling. So I was like, let's reflect. Let's take a step back. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Let's take a step back. Let's do what we got to do. You see, you heard it. You heard it. Anyway, take a step back. Let's see what's going on. So I'm not putting nothing on top of these cards. We're just not doing that. Sorry. I might just edit some stuff in the thing so you'll see numbers or whatever. But other than that, I'm not doing all that. Sorry, I'm grown. We're not doing that. We don't got time. We're trying to get to the meat and potatoes, the shrimp and grits. Yeah. So we have pile 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's get started. Before I start, those are my social medias. Follow me there. I do more astrology work on my Patreon. These are just readings that I'm doing right now because I have not really done as much readings as I used to, and readings was my first start before I became really, really good at astrology. So I kind of wanted to return back to my roots. And since I've done it for so long, I decided to just start being more active in the reading space since I'm more so somebody that primarily does astrology now. So I'll just let y'all have it because I think my business has become more astrology heavy than it has tarot. So I'll let y'all have my good work that nobody really be knowing I be doing. I really be in my bag. All right, I added tarot cards to this because I was like, something's missing. So basically, you can't put a timeline on when somebody gonna leave you. Because I feel like some of y'all already knew this person was like no good, but you was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just have fun anyway. And all of it threw you off. I feel like you're in recovery mode here, but the rest, like, it's how everything happened. And again, you're never gonna be in control about somebody else's decisions and how they react to things. You're not in control of another person. You can only be in control of yourself. I think to some level, you didn't think it would be as bad as it got. And because you didn't think it was going to be as bad as it got, you kind of allowed certain things to happen. Like, oh, they're not that bad. They're just like, and they turn out to be a lot worse than what they actually are. I do feel like some of y'all are really, you didn't expect yourself to do as much processing that you had to do in the situation. But because they took it there, now you're shook up. And here's the thing. Again, you're never in control towards somebody else's actions and why or how they do things. Because once you start trying to, oh, they're going to do this, they're going to do that, you're underestimating that person. Once you start underestimating somebody, you're just giving them the open to hurt you. You should never underestimate anybody you feel like is going to be trash because you really don't know how far it goes. You don't know their background. You don't know a lot of stuff. So if you're going to go into it like this again, because I can't stop you from doing whatever you want to do, all you have to do is know, hey, let me think of the worst possible scenario I can get into with this person based off the little that they're telling me. Can I handle that? Should I handle that? For some of you, is it safe? Is this person a safe person to even be around? Feel me? Again, some people are just very reckless. You'll never know until later. You never know somebody the first month, second month, sometimes even within a year. Be mindful and be discerning about who you hang around. I don't care if you're here for a good time and it may not be that deep to you because again, you don't know these people. Don't put too much trust just because you're like, oh, they do fun stuff. Sometimes it be the fun people that are the most careless and the most reckless. So you should always be careful of the people you're dealing with. Y'all also got to be honest with yourself because I know my Venus retrograde horoscope stuff that I went over on my Patreon, I was telling people don't fake the hot girl energy, and it just really gives like y'all was faking it. Like, hot girl energy has a level of Martian energy. And you have to be able to handle the consequences that come with it, because when you're a heavy hitter, you're going to be around some heavy hitters. And you got to learn how to move. And I feel like a lot of people like to fake these, oh, I'm not bothered. You're bothered. Especially for some of y'all bothered. You're not built like that. And it's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to be built a certain way for somebody to be like you strong. But like I said, I could tell that with this situation, you have to, like, you're slowly gaining a sense of value, because I feel like you were going against your values for a little bit, and then you had to regain them a little bit, because you were trying to be somebody that you wasn't, to prove that I'm good. It's okay to be hurt. It's okay to be monogamous. It's okay to not want to go out. It's okay to not want to, you know what I'm saying? It's okay to want to commit, be in committed relationships. You don't have to be somebody who's non-committal and let people know, oh, you like this, you like that, you don't care. You could do that and have standards that are outside of having to be, non-committal and things like that. You don't have to be a hot girl. Hot girl life ain't for everybody. Hot girl life ain't bad. It's just not for you. You could have standards that are right for you and still have that energy like, y'all can't touch me. It could be like that. Just know that. Okay, power two. Y'all tea a little piping hot. I don't know how to feel about that. We gonna see. Ah, shit. Well. Damn. Okay, though. Okay, though. Okay, though. Oh, shit. Y'all good? Let's take a brief second. So, good news is you got your life together. I feel like the long-term goals that you had when it came to relationship done flipped, turned upside down. You rethinking a lot of stuff. I feel like a lot of y'all, it looks scary, but I feel like y'all like, fuck it. It is what it is. And personally, there's nothing wrong with these cards, for real. I feel like you got it together. I just feel like you probably have taken more of a different outlook, and I feel like your outlook used to be a little more ignorant. You was a little naive. You was believing everything, but now you kind of like, okay, I'm understanding what my boundaries are when it comes to this relationship, and I know what to do to move forward. What I will say though is, let's take the diamond or whatever. What we're gonna do is, there's so many connotations for it, but to give it the simplest connotation is basically your higher knowledge, your higher self being energy acting upon you for your betterment or for your greatest good. That's what we're gonna give the diamond energy as. You have a lot going on. I don't even know where I really want to start when it comes to this. It's one of those things, when you know better, you do better, you get wiser. One thing I could commend y'all about is you letting yourself it seems like you're letting yourself process these feelings, but you're not letting it deter you. You're using it to learn and grow. You taking accountability. It's not even to say that you're at fault here, but it's like, how can I prevent this situation from happening again? This is probably going to be my most impressive spread that I do, because not many people are this accountable. Now, this Mercury retrograde may be pulling you back right now and telling you, where could I have done better in this situation? And again, it's not even a victim blame, but Mercury right here is reversing. It's Mercury retrograde right now, and it's like, how can I do and live better for myself? For you right now, maybe what your long-term love goals used to be, maybe you're no longer considering marriage. Maybe you are considering marriage, but now you have a lot more standards when it comes to marriage. You may have came into things with an open mind, and You know, an open mind and an open heart isn't bad, but I feel like sometimes people who are open, sometimes in this connotation, how I'm breaking it down is your openness is really has been based on just seeing where things go. But at a certain point, you really gotta draw some lines in the sand. Because if you don't draw any lines in the sand, you always just gonna end up with somebody who is just not for you. And sometimes when you're open-minded and your heart is open and your mind is open, sometimes you can become a conduit or like a magnet to any type of energy. And not all energy that comes to you was good. Not every time you attract somebody is somebody who is for you. Just because they like you doesn't mean it's meant to be anything. Sometimes it's really just them liking your energy, but they're not going to give you anything. They're just there to drain you. You have to be mindful of that. Just because this one person is just ready, set, go on you does not mean the intentions are good when they come in. And when I notice people who are open-minded and too open, you are uncertain of yourself to a degree. And what ends up happening is somebody comes along and you're open and somebody's telling you they don't like this, they don't like that, you should do this, you should do that. If you have no boundaries, where do you fall into putting a stop to what they're saying or disagreeing? Where does that come in? More than likely it doesn't. Again, when you're open to certain people and what they do, how they do, and etc., you don't have a say-so in anything. And usually that just ends up happening with certain people. They don't have no type of say-so. They don't have any type of idea what they're going to do and how they're going to go about it. And sometimes for some people, when to leave. Once you get up in there, can you guarantee that you're going to be able to get out how you came in? Are you going to come out how you came in? You don't know that. Sometimes you'll never come back out this door. You're coming out another door. And the other door is good. So in a sense, you gained something. Sometimes when you came out, congratulations, you survived, you're alive. But a piece of you has been broken in that process. And even if you try to mend those cracks and mend everything back together, you're always going to see those scars. And it's not even to say, and I'm trying to be very, very intentional. It's not to say that you are a broken person. But there's a lot of things that we do in our life that we can't go back in time. Just like I have to be intentional in my words while I'm conveying this to you, you have to be intentional of the people that you pick. This is not a game. And it's not to say you need to live in fear. It's not to say that you have to be scared and you did something wrong. But when somebody's telling you something, think about it. I need you to think about what they're actually saying. I don't care if they're trying to tell you what they meant. If you feel some type of way, you feel some type of way. Maybe you need to learn, maybe they right in some way, but maybe the lesson you need to learn from them is not who you need to learn it from. Maybe you need to learn it from somebody else. Sometimes somebody could be right, but it's just right energy and just the wrong messenger. You know how many people that are horrible people that be right? You know how many people that are horrible people, good people that can say 2 + 2 is 4? Does that mean they right in every respect? No. Sometimes it's the wrong messenger. And I've said this on Twitter before, and I'm going to put it in the edit. Sometimes wrong messengers does not mean that they're right. It just means that their intentions behind a message can be messed up. It's kind of like how people do cults to some degree. And I'm not educated on cults like that. But like, if you came in with a problem, they're going to always tell you, you're the problem, you're the problem, you're the problem. I'm here to help you. I'm here to fix you. And if you don't understand that, hey, you know, two things can be wrong at one time. Like, I have a problem, but you definitely have a problem here, and I need to leave. But no, they indoctrinate people who know that they're a problem or know that they have problems, and because they have problems, and that means everybody around them is right, or the person that they're confiding in is right. That is not true. That's not true at all. You're messing yourself up when you think like that. Luckily for you, it just seems to me from this situation, you got out, you got yourself back. This person seems to me has been draining your energy. You had to find that fire back. It was something, either what they said or you just thinking about it, and it got you fired up. Now, pre-warning, I do not want you to be out here acting reckless because of the situation and you kind of like have this fearless attitude. I still want you to take the lessons. I need you to strengthen that. So when it's time to be out there and just do what it do, there is a controlled fire within you that blazes what needs to be away and needs to be in your purest and highest form for you, and not burning bridges with people because of what somebody else did. There's going to be some people that are going to be like them that you need to cut off, but not everybody's like that. You have to create discernment now, because you can't let the cracks in everything that happened set the tone of who's going to crack you next, because you feel like somebody's out. They can see my scars. That means I'm vulnerable. No. If you were like a comparison to a vase and you glued yourself back together, yes, there's a little bit more vulnerabilities within you, but you the same vase. It's the same composition. Somebody could knock you over if they wanted to. It's not like it matters, but it's about now, how can I prevent that from happening? And if it does happen again, what can I take myself, melt myself down and make a new me? You could do that. You don't have to stay that vase shape. You don't have to even rebuild that shape. Some of them pieces probably needed to go. Maybe you could do, I don't know if it's in Japanese culture where they fill those cracks with gold, make you look nice. Do something. Deck yourself out. Get right. You could do those things. Sometimes you don't have to be the person that you was before. I know there's many times I wished in my life where I could take things back or be who I used to be, but you know, again, and I'm just pulling an example for myself because life happens. Life really does happen, and it could turn things, it could transform you. And either you're going to take those traits and make good of it, or you're going to take those traits and let it break you even further. That's going to be your choice. And I think I've droned enough on this. I'm going to let y'all sit on what I said. All right, pile 3. We're going to see what's up with y'all. I sensed sadness from these cards. I don't know what's going on. We're going to see. But I saw some sadness. Okay. Some of y'all got blocked from this person, and you want closure, and they not trying to give you closure, or you block somebody and they trying to reach out to you, and you not giving them closure. You don't need to give them closure. Some things you just know in your heart of hearts, it's over with, babe. It's over with. It's over with. Stop losing sleep over the situation. Is done. It's over with. I don't know what else to tell you. It's over. Stop it. It's time for you to grow. If you took a L, if somebody took their L when it came to you, keep it pimping. It's a new era. I'm sorry. Even if they were to reach out, it's clip. What you gonna do about it? Grieve it. Take some time. Stop trying to force a situation that it's not happening at all. You need to focus on the people who are there for your growth, whether you need to grow from that situation or you need to heal from that situation. That's what you need to do. There's no coming back. They blocked you, it's over. Even if they unblock you, there's no, this connection has been spiritually pulled. There was a divine intervention in there, and it just was not, it's not going to happen. Good news is you'll be fine. Bad news is you feel bad right now. It may feel like you have no other options in life, and it feels like they were like the only one, and I just want to figure out how I could do better. No, what you had to provide is not going to be enough. Whether they want to, again, and even if you're the one that blocked, there's nothing that they can do. They're not going to get better. They're not going to get any better. And it's not even to say the people that got blocked are any better. It's just, again, this situation is just not working, whether you're at fault or not at fault, whether you did it or somebody else did it. It's time to move on. It's time to talk to your friends and be like, hey, how could I have done better? Or, hey, I need help making sure I'm making better decisions for myself. I think your friends need to be doing wellness checks on you, and also making sure you drinking water, that you resting, that you eating. If you have some priorities you have on this, have friends make you accountable. Have a checklist of stuff that you need to do, as setting reminders on your phone. I will add some links down below as to things that can probably help you without overwhelming you on just basic stuff. Maybe some of y'all need to remind yourself to get up out of bed, to clean up a little bit, to take a shower. Maybe some of y'all are in that stage because your mind, I don't know, some of y'all are not getting really good sleep over this. And you are not a bad person for feeling this way. You are not somebody that needs to hurry up and get over it. It's just you do still need to take care of yourself. Make sure you're still doing that. You don't want to come out of this situation healed with more problems than you came in because you're not taking care of yourself. You want to make sure you're doing that. Find your community, build community, go outside, get some fresh air. I know that's hard. Gotta get up out of bed. I get it. But once you get some fresh air, cool. Some of y'all may find benefit in going for walks. Staying inside, I've been there before in life in my teens where I didn't want to go outside because the sun was just overwhelmingly spiritually. But to some degree, just ease yourself into things. Heartbreak is not an easy thing. Some of y'all may come out of this process or want to come out of this process with no emotions. That's not going to help you. It's going to end you up in the same place that you was because you're not actually fixing the issue. You're just avoiding it and pushing it to the side until something else comes and re-breaks you again. So you may want to deal with it right now. Be honest with yourself. Get out how you feel. And know that your closure is where you want to be at, not where that person said and not where that person was. It's time for you to move on. Let it be that. Love you though. Take care. And one more thing. There is options out there. There's more options than you think. Once you kind of get out of that person was the only one, or I can't believe it didn't work out, you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll definitely see what I'm talking about. Okay, power 4. Let's see. What's T? Okay. I'm already about to start talking shit. Yeah, I'm already about to start talking shit about y'all. Just give me a second. Let me pull out these cards. Yeah, I'm already about to start talking shit about y'all. Yeah. And it won't be as bad as I'm making it. Never mind. Definitely gonna be talking shit. Yes. Unfortunately, I have to do what I have to do. I'm gonna say it plain, but it's gonna be pretty respectful. You just doing anything, and I need you to be so fucking for real. I need you to be for real. Because you just yeah, I'ma just and I mean that's cute. Do that, right? You're not supposed to, do things right and whatever, but I'm just think a little bit. Just think just a little bit. I feel like you're a little more ambitious, very quick to do something. I can't impulsive. There we go. You're impulsive right now. You just like, yeah, use your brain right now. Use that noggin of yours. There's something that needs to click because, yeah, you doing you. But I just feel like you're not learning nothing. You don't need to. You're not in a mode to give nobody advice because right now the advice you're giving yourself, I don't know. Are you sure? Is this sustainable? You gonna burn yourself out? Trying to, do whatever that you're doing. It's not even that. Honestly, I'm not even gonna say you're really gonna be affected by this much, but it's kind of like one of them things where somebody gotta like check in with you, like, hey, slow down. You're doing a lot. You're just a little bit reckless right now. You're just doing whatever when it comes to love. You don't want this to start becoming an issue because you're not checking in and you're gonna be like, oh, where all this come from? It's like, it started at a certain point, but you wasn't paying attention, and then like it just got bigger, and then now you gotta go all the way back, and now you gotta trace through a whole bunch of stuff that you could barely half remember. And you're just gonna be spending a lot more time going back trying to figure things out than moving forward. So checking in with yourself right now, like, should I be moving at this pace? Am I gonna get really exhausted? Am I gonna always feel like, oh, I don't know, why am I still single? It's because you're doing too much. That's why you still single. You doing too much. And if you don't care about a relationship, disregard all this. Only thing I will say though is just be careful of who you do decide to make it permanent with, because you're feeling reckless. Because actually, you could end up losing a lot more than you gained. So make sure you're mindful about the person that you with. Once you start incorporating mindfulness in what you're doing, you'll be all right. Like, none of this will matter. However, yeah, don't be like, oh yeah, they're the one, they're just different. Yeah, different don't always mean good. Can you handle the person that you even with? Are you still gonna be reckless? Some of y'all, I'm gonna say some of y'all is giving cheater. Some of y'all, not all of y'all. Some of it is giving you want some games. We're gonna see how far these games take you. And if you're that person that's like, I'm gonna play them, or I'm not taking them seriously and I'm lying, this gonna come back and get you real bad. It's not gonna look good for you, because what goes around comes around. And if you're not that person and you're just kind of like, silly and I'm having fun, that's great. Again, still be careful of who you associate yourself with, because some people, they'll show you that they have no better time than you, and sometimes that better time that they're having is at your expense. Is you gonna be happy when that's you? So don't be too silly, because it's not that fucking funny. Yeah, take care, because yeah, I don't mean that sarcastically. I really do want you to take care of yourself. I'm just like, this reading, take whatever you feel resonates with this one. Okay, pop 5. It's given. So when I was doing y'all reading, it was given we outside. Not sure why. We gonna find out. Legs and hips and body. So, I think I don't know when the order of this was, but we're just gonna keep it like this, because I flipped it over slightly to see. Or I don't know if it was intentional or not. I don't know. I pulled them already. It don't matter when I looked at them. Anyway, y'all got like an extra card. Oh my gosh, why I get like them like pins and needles on my arm? That's crazy. Maybe because I'm a little hot. I don't know. I'm sorry I'm talking a lot. I'm not really sorry. Because I didn't do anything. Sorry, I'm not sorry. I'm being weird. It's whatever. Some of y'all are there's two types of people that's happening right now. Some of y'all are like, I'm going outside, I'm traveling, I'm being single, I'm chilling, I'm good. For the rest of y'all, some of y'all are just like, I'm doing what everybody else is doing, which is I'm going out and I'm partying. I don't really care to like establish myself too much. It's just me chilling. Whoever is here. Whoever ain't. Just be careful that you're not getting caught up in single life, that you think that single life means neglecting everything else in your life, which is like priority stuff that requires you to have a balance. So like, don't be outside at the club when you got some stuff to do at home. Don't be letting your hangover mess you up when you got to go to work tomorrow. You still got stuff going on. And also, if you're hurt, acknowledge that you hurt and still go outside too. Like, I'm not even discouraging to go outside in this, because you got to do what you do. But make sure that you're using that as a sort of release and healing, to be like, I'm just feeling more comfortable with myself. Don't force yourself to be comfortable with something that you're not, of course, but allow yourself to be more headstrong on who you are. Sometimes it's kind of like it takes for you to be single to kind of realize that you've been kind of locked and caged in. Like, I'm getting that from you. You've been locked and caged in. Maybe you was trying to make some stuff that didn't make sense, and so now you're trying to figure out some new stuff. But now you're in this point where you've had your fun, but it's time to incorporate some things. It's time to connect back with your spirituality. I feel like some of y'all disconnected from spirit because it requires deep work that you kind of don't want to deal with. But you're going to have to deal with it eventually. You're going to have to eventually be like, hey, sometimes that we outside is a confidence facade from something that's actually, something deeper is happening. But you really don't want to deal with that right now because you just want to be in your, like, fun bag. But it's okay to feel a couple of ways. It's okay to kind of have that process where you grieving at the same time. And then when you don't want to cry no more, you outside. There needs to be a balance here. And once you find that balance, you'll be able to maneuver. But just know you can't stay in this era of your life forever. It has to go somewhere. You have to get it. If you want to get out your system, of course, be mindful, get it out your system. But it has to lead back down a journey. What journey are you going to go on? Keep that on. Keep that in mind. Where do you want to go? How can you incorporate it with things you want to do? Has there been some things that you haven't done in a while that you should do? Do you feel like, in a way, you kind of lost your touch, or you feel like people see you a different way because of this new journey? Or if they don't see you a different way because of this new journey, do you feel like people have seen you differently because of what you went through, relationship or love-wise, and you feel like you got to change that back to what you were? There's a lot of things that come with this reading that may have to deal with identity with other people, and then your identity with yourself. And some of it can kind of become a contrast because you used to be the person that was outside and you was inside a relationship, but now you kind of have these two things wrestling against you, because now you're like, do I go outside or do I go out to be a lover girl? Because now you kind of have to taste of both, and it's kind of like, now when do they come together? Because you could still be seeking and being outside, but it's knowing, like, even in relationships, don't be holding yourself back and being like you can't go outside because you're in a relationship. If anybody's doing that, I'm gonna tell you right now, that's gonna be a red flag, because you can't help who you are as long as you ain't doing anything that's outside of the boundaries that you set with that person. That's fine. But a piece of you also needs to reconnect back with yourself, because I feel like you're doing a lot of external stuff where it's like people, relationship. Where is that single time for you to figure things out? Once you kind of get that understood, you'll be able to move forward. But right now, I just feel like you're trying to maneuver, and then as soon as it's time for you to go into something better or maybe move on with something, you kind of get pulled back because it's like it's not carrying at a momentum that you want it to go. But in reality, you're kind of slowing yourself down because you're not experimenting with how can you go forward with something. You're still caught up in the, like, I'm just going to be here, there, and everywhere, and you're not actively doing anything with it. It's just bottled up. What are you going to do with that? And release yourself from feeling entrapped. That's going to be your thing. And I think maybe for some of y'all, maybe the person that you were talking to was really in control of what you wore, how you wore things, what you did. personality. So now that you gotten back control over your being, your body, now you want to do everything that you want to do, and that's a good thing. But now it's about having control over, okay, what do I want to do with this to improve myself? What am I going to do with this to kind of upgrade some things that I have not been able to upgrade in my life or haven't upgraded yet? Once you kind of figure that out, then you'll kind of start to see things. Then you'll start to actually notice your own versatility. Because you may have felt like you have to be one type of person or another type of person, and you're going through two extremes of your personality. They can definitely come together, but you're going to have to probably go through that thing where that pendulum does whatever before it comes to a nice balance. So if that's the case, just keep that in mind, because eventually you're going to have to bring this together. And I would start now as soon as you hear this reading and it resonates. Start now. I'm not going to say no more.